Hey y'all, it's Kelly at Crochet Mom for Life. How are y'all today? Well, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing the best I can. I already tried this video about 4 times. Last one I thought I had it, and then the hubby pulled up and the dogs just knew that was him. They went wild, and then I hit the wrong button. So anyway, I've started all over. I thought I'd get on here today and catch up with you. I know it's been a couple of weeks. I just been kind of perking along, just doing this and that, and sitting in my chair watching a lot of Gunsmoke and Wagon Train and all that. So, that's about the only decent things you can watch is them old shows now. I mean, you cannot watch much of anything without having to see a bunch of filth in it. So I just been sticking to the old faithfuls. I appreciate everybody for coming in today and for commenting and hitting the like button and subscribing and all that. You know, I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all the prayers for my brother. He's still in the hospital. He's not doing the best. You know, they're just keeping him on antibiotics till they find him a long-term facility to go to. So y'all just keep him in your prayers still and pray that when they find one that it's close to home, that my people, that my brother, my sister, and her husband and her children, who are the ones that are really have always been there for him since our sister Mott died in 2018. They're the ones that are there for him now, and it would just be a lot better for them because my sister and her husband are in their 70s, and she's not in good health at all. And it would just be better all the way around if they could find somewhere, you know, near them, you know. So it don't have to be, you know, 10 miles, but at least, you know, no more than 50. But they're having a hard time trying to find a facility for him. So y'all pray that something comes through for him, that he's near to, you know, his people. I'm 6.5 hours away from him, so I mean, even if I could get there, I could not stay there. No, I just can't. I have to be here, and you know, life here, you know, I have to keep things going and all that, and but when I get to go home, I will. Well, back to Alabama. Georgia's my home now. You know, never thought I would get to the point to where I considered, you know, I made my home in Georgia, but when I always used to think about Bama's my home, but I don't know, over the years it's just shifted in me, and so this is my home here. This is where I'll be planted when I pass. So this is my home. You know, I've got roots here. So that, I guess that's what happens when you go out and you make a family, right? You make roots where your family is. So not that they're not my family, but you know, I have obligations here. But anyway, everybody's going through something, right? I don't know a single person in this life right now that's not having something hit them hard, big or small. You know, everybody is going through something. So y'all just let's just pray for each other. Let's just think about each other and hold each other in prayer. Or yeah, I believe in prayer, but some people don't, and that's all right if that's what way you want to. You believe, you know. I'm not pushing nothing on you, but I believe in prayer, and I appreciate all the prayers you will send my way. Let's just leave it at that. So I really one week I had a fire lit under me, y'all, and that fire was caused by my grandson. I pulled out my blanket and he said, "You still working on that?" Yeah. I said, "By golly, I'm gonna get that thing done." So here is my happily stained blanket, and I put it on a community post, but in case you didn't see it, I will show it to you as best I can. It's like 42 by 42, and I reckon this is going to be called the Easter egg blanket because it's got a lot of Easter colors in it, don't it? I like the bright colors. So yeah, so this was a fun make. I started it in February, y'all. So I'm slow. But when he lit that fire under me, boy, I got at it. So I made it with a 5.5 hook, dot hook. And most of these are big twist colors, except for the pink and this spring green. And those are red hearts. So I enjoyed working on this, and I put a simple border. Just I think I put a single crochet down the sides, and then I come back and made a half double crochet just to hide in all my little, because I carried the white yarn throughout the whole blanket. And so that hid it pretty well. I had to keep an eye on it and make sure I captured it, but I didn't put any border on this because I think this was a well enough border for that. And she tells you that, I think, in that video. So, but it's by Be Creative Crafts, and I'll link it again in my description box. So I like that. I had to pay attention to it. You know, some of y'all might not have to, but I did. I had to get my figures, my numbers straight, because, you know, sometimes I'd lay it down and not touch it for a month or two. Obviously, since it took me from February to July to get it done. But I would make this again. And if I do, it's going to be maybe in a little darker color, just to do something different. So, but yeah, so I really like this blanket. Miss Terry at Yarn Joy Podcast, she made one at Christmas. And she's pretty swift. She got hers done pretty lickety split. So, but it takes, you know, I'll be distracted. I'll be watching some shows or something. Or lay it down and do, you know, amigurumis or whatever. But here lately, I'm liking the blanket business. So, even if I am slow. So, yeah, so that's my Happily Stained blanket. I'm glad to be completed with that. So, that makes me about 3 blankets I've done this year, I think. And that's a feat for me. I wish I could be faster. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to work on that as I go. But yeah, so that's my one finished pretty. And my next finished pretty was inspired by Miss Terry at Yarn Joy. Hey, Miss Terry, I hope you're feeling better. She sprained her thumb, and so we need you back. So rest that thumb this week. I think that's what you're doing. So, but yeah, I got this book out. She made a donkey, and I'm partial to donkeys. I like a donkey, and I think they're just adorable. So she made this donkey, and so I said, I want to make the donkey. I've made this little dragon out of this book, and I like that. I sold it. I want to make another one, but yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you make these little pretties, these little critters, and you really don't want to get rid of them. I keep them for a while, you know. Sometimes I'll come in this room and look at them and hold them a minute and whatever. Then I release them into the wild. So here's my donkey, y'all. There's my donkey. He was a fast, fun make. And I started out with this, I think this is Premier Basic and Pecan. And this is some Red Heart Aran, you know. It's not white. But in the pattern between the feet, there's a dark brown. Seem like there's the Aran, the dark brown, and then that. Well, this is pretty dark. So, and if I got another brown, it just didn't look right to me. I said, well, I'll just do it this way. So that's what I did. I made this with the 4.5 hook. And like I said, the colors. Before I stuffed it, I put the honker on and safety eyes. And then after I was finished, I put that little speck of blush or whatever you want to call it in there. Y'all, my hair is getting in my way. I ran out of hairspray about 3 weeks ago, and I just haven't bought any more. And I'm okay, but I do need a haircut. I've been growing it a little bit, and I don't know how much longer I'll let it grow, but but I need to go and get me a trim on these bangs. So yeah, so I'm not doing the hairspray. You have things you used to buy that you don't buy no more. Well, that might be a permanent one for me. We'll see. So yeah, this is my donkey. He was fun. And that book's a cute little book. You do have to take, like I've said before, it has different poses. You can make this. Here's some of the critters: standing, sitting, laying. And so one of mine, my dragon, he was standing, and that one's sitting. So I guess I need to do a laying one, don't I? There's a wolf. I think he's adorable. I like the wolf, and I like the lion. That's cute. Cow's cute too, and that little dinosaur. So it's a cute pattern, but you do have to go back, and it tells you on which ones you're doing. Like this donkey, you know, it'll tell you where to refer to, and you have to refer back to the front. It's not as complicated as some books lately that ask you to do that. So, and this is made by All From Jade. I can't pronounce her name, Jade, but she has some YouTube tutorials, I think. All From Jade. So yeah, this is a cute little book. So that was my other finished pretty. And then my husband, sometimes he forgets his medicine. And I thought, I fuss at him, I do. And you know, I try to stay on it, but sometimes I forget to remind him. Golly, this is driving me nuts. I may need to go get me some hairspray today. I'll probably pull it up. But so I made him a chill pill. K&K Crochet, they put this on their channel through July for Christmas extravaganza. Looks like he's got a mustache. Sometimes it's a hit or miss on the facial features, but he got a kick out of it, and he told me I needed a chill pill, which I probably do. I'm gonna fool with this all through this video. But yeah, so yeah, I made him a chill pill. So that was one of my other finished pretties. And then I showed you this book. Well, I thought, well, I need to make something from it. You know, I don't need to just let it sit idle. So I picked out and I made a snail. So here's my snail. It was a fun, fast, quick, fun little make, you know. So I enjoyed that. I don't think I didn't put no hot glue. I thought about it. I thought about putting me a little hot glue, and I still might to get that little curly Q a little bit better. But little fuzzies, and might be a peanut hair in there. I don't know. So yeah, I think I made this with a 3.5 hook. So that was a fun cutie. I've started something else out of this book, but I don't know. I'm just lollygagging this little bear. So, but this is a cute little book too. The pattern was easy. Pattern was real easy to understand, and it's all in U.S. terms. It's not in UK terms at all. I like this little gnome. I like that little gnome, and I like the cardinal in here. Yeah. So, all right. I may have to go get me some hairspray today. So yeah, that's 1, 2, and my blanket and my chill pill. Okay, now I wanted to work on some hats. So I've made me 3 hats this week. Now the first one I made, I found some Premier yarn. Serenity I've had it for a long time. So I made this hat. This is made a Back to Basic beanie by Bag O' Day. So I made this hat. It's fun. It was soft yarn to work with. It was a 4-weight. So, and I always do down the bottom, I'll do a back loop business, you know. I just like the looks of that. So yeah, so that was Bag O' Day, Miss Crystal. She's the hat queen as far as I'm concerned. I made that one. And then I wanted to try something different. So I went over to Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. And if y'all have not watched her, I'm subscribed to her. I don't catch every video, but I went over there to take a look at some of her beanies. So I made this one Sunday. This is a gender neutral for a man or a woman beanie. So I enjoyed that. And I always make my beanies to where they fit my head. So I got a big head, I think. So I think they'll fit other folks, I hope. So these are all going to donation to K&K Crochet. They do Bumblebee Mountain Outreach, and I'm trying to get up 30 hats by November. So right now I'm sitting at having to do 15, I think. So I got 15 more hats to make. So, but yeah, this is basic increases, you know, in the round. And then this is a double crochet together stitch. I think that's what it is. And I was watching another video, and I ended up messing up on this, because I would make the double crochet together, and then I would chain one. I said, well, I'm not pulling this back, and it don't look bad with that extra chain one in there. You can't really tell. So that's how I did it. Her tutorial was pretty simple, pretty easy. It was like under 20 minutes long. And then you get down here and you can just use your own discretion on how you really want to finish it, you know. So that's what I do. When I get down and it kind of fits over my ears, you know, I'll stop. I don't keep going. So yeah, so I'll link that tutorial in my description box. And pretty sure I made this with a 5.5, I think. Yeah. So that was another hat. And so last night I went to Crystal at Bag O' Day again, and I watch Laura. Some people, they call her Lala, from Mimi's Crochet and Farming out of Alaska, and she does that Babapalooza once a week. She draws out a number. So I haven't been participating in that, but I do like to watch her. And she'll show a hat, and then I might go back and look and see. But she showed this hat, I think, not too long ago. But this is a oh lordy, I wrote it down in my little book. Let's see. Distorted Reality Beanie. So I finished that a while ago. So this was a nice easy make too, y'all. You do a lot of front post, back post, and I'm starting to catch on and kind of liking them a little bit more. But then you get down here and you use your discretion on how you want to keep going or stop or whatever. It just depends. Or you can make an extra repeat of this right here if you wanted to, and make it a slouchy, she says. But like I said, I make them and stop, and you really can't tell where my little fault line is. Maybe it's right there. So I'm getting a little bit better at that. You know, right there, I think. So yeah, so I made this with a 5.5 hook, and this is Red Heart Carrot. Red Heart Carrot. So I'm gonna make another one, and she does it in 2 different colors, and she does this in one color, and then this part is like 2 rows of single crochet and 1 row of double crochet. So I think she does the single crochet in an alternate color. So, and there, and then down here. So I'm gonna make another one. I might start it today. Probably will. So yeah, so that was my other hats. I've made 3 hats. So like I said, I got 15 more to go. And if y'all are out there and you need want to, they're still collecting hats, and they're trying to reach a goal of 2025, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's somewhere along that lines. But I'll find a video where they're talking about it and link it back in my description box. But yeah, so y'all, if you got, everybody has scraps or whatever, but if you feel led to, donate to them. And if you can't donate to them because, shipping is really high, donate to somebody around you, a nursing home or something like that. I donated to the nursing home, as I said a few weeks ago, and they sent me pictures where they put them on Facebook and thanked me and another girl. She donated some things, and I donated, some of my jewelry and some little Amis. And they put pictures on Facebook, and it was sweet. It did my heart good. And they looked like they had like a butterbean bingo or something like that game. And so they look like they really, really like that. So so I'm gonna do more stuff like that. I've had 2 baby blankets here forever, and someone I know is working on a charity here. It's called Bread of Heaven, and they do a food pantry, but they also collect things for babies and mothers, that are having a rough time. So I got these 2 baby blankets I made years ago, and they just been here. I've took care of them. I'm not even sure what pattern this is. It looks like Jade and Stitch's blanket. So yeah, this is Mandela yarn. I think it's baby yarn. I can't even tell you the colorway. So I'm donating them to that. So what else? Just talking up a storm. I kind of fell off a wagon on the bear in a box situation. I don't even know what I showed y'all last. But I've got my little bear here, but she ain't got no clothes. I got to make clothes. That's where I've quit, because I jumped off on that blanket so hard. But I made the bear, and I got the little sunshine pillow. I probably done showed y'all this. I can't remember. I got the sunshine pillow. And I got the little bee. And I had a square already made, so got the square, and I got the bed. So I've got to make that bear some clothes, and I've got to make it some little accessories. And I really need a bigger box, because this box is not going to hold all that. So that's probably going to wait a while, but I am going to fix all of my little accessories, because that was a fun little thing to do, as Cassandra put on. So yeah, so I fell off the wagon. I gotta get back on the wagon on that. But so that's just about all I've done, y'all. I got out my 2-bit granny and mindlessly worked on it over the weekend. This is Juan the Yarn Addict. I like to watch Juan. He puts out a lot of good content. He stays busy. It's a 2-bit granny, but in the midst of 2-bit granny, I only had 1 bit right there. And that was this yarn right here. That was a big twist. So yeah. So that's one of the little mindless things to do. And I started out with a granny square and kept going, but I turn every round. I know y'all tired of seeing me do that. I'm buying me some hairspray. Yeah, I turn every round, and it's kind of keeping it on the straight and narrow. But y'all, if y'all got any suggestions on a good simple blanket for me, put it down in the description box. You know, I'm kind of enjoying having a little blanket to do. You know, so yeah, I don't like complicated things, although they are pretty. I liked I like that what was that big book? Miss Sally at Nanny Moon's Crochet was doing it. I can't even think about it. Think the name of it now. But I got that big thick book in there. But I just never pulled a plug on it. Then Juan had one he was doing for the May crochet along, but I don't know. I just I need something simple, you know. I like that one I did, so something like that, you know. If y'all got any great suggestions, and send me some pictures at crochetmile1970 at yahoo.com. Any suggestions really, but something to keep my mind busy. But yeah, that's all I've got for you. Seemed like I wanted to say something else, but I don't know. I can't remember. Can't remember what all I needed to say, but I think that's it. I'm going to keep on working on the hats and working on that 2-bit granny right there. And that's how I feel sometimes, like a 2-bit granny. And any other suggestions y'all can send my way, I'd appreciate it. You know, just some ideas. You know, share some thoughts. Go to my community post and share some stuff. I'd love to see what you're working on. I reckon. I don't know. But that's about all I got. Yeah. Can't think of nothing else. Y'all keep Miss Kayla at Llama Mama Kayla in your prayers. She's having a rough time right now. And, of course, Miss Terry, she's hurt her thumb. We need Miss Terry healthy. We need both of them healthy. Miss Tracy at I Love Loopy's Crochet and Treasures. She needs special prayer right now for her family. God knows the situation, whatever it is. There's a lot of financial needs out there. So I just think it's just one of them times right now where a lot of people are just really struggling just to make it. So you know, I think we all need to lift each other up, right? So I'm gonna hop off of here, and I'm gonna go and see what I can get into the rest of the day. So y'all have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all. Maybe I'll get me some hairspray or something.